Hi friends, strangers, internet. My name is EmilyHanhan. I love colorful makeup and colorful language. I am back today with New Makeup Nonsense Bingo. If you haven't been around before for a New Makeup Nonsense Bingo, this is a video that I do about once a month in collaboration with Theresa is Dead. We go through new makeup releases on the market. We have bingo cards made up that are full of kind of cliche or obnoxious trends in the beauty industry, and we try to get bingo. And every time we do hit a spot on the card, we take a drink, but typically we're drinking throughout the video. If you are a creator or you just want to play along at home, we have the bingo cards linked in the description box. We have a community playlist. If you have any issues adding your videos to that, if you are a creator and you do one of these, just DM me on Instagram or Twitter. And also, yeah, I think that's it. We have some hashtags. You're welcome to use those in your post. The other thing is that Theresa and I usually pick out a group of photos that we're both working on. So we use the same photos, but we use a randomizer so that we don't end up just talking about the same shit and hitting bingo at the same time. I'm going to take a moment to show you all of the bullshit we're talking about today, and you can get a sneak preview of some of the things I might be talking about. If you're new here, if you're from Theresa's channel, welcome. My name is EmilyHanhan. I hope you subscribe, join, and follow along with my colorful shenanigans. Also, cat shenanigans, which always happen in the background. You'll hear little noises and things. I have my fan going. I'm also in a slightly different setup where I normally live stream, so I don't know, things just feel different. Before we get into it, not to make too much light of it, but in case you need to know, Black Lives Matter and ACAB or ACAB. I feel really dorky not knowing how you actually say that, but I want to make sure you know I stand for that. And if you don't, you don't have to hang around. Okay, now that we've covered most of the bases and you know what we're going to be possibly talking about, let's get into it. Oh, and if you're curious, tonight I am drinking Austin's East Cider Watermelon Cider. Not sponsored or anything, but that's what we got. It just happens to be in a spill-proof mug. Okay, so first up, we have Fenty Beauty is here with some new sheer, the Slip Shines. They are sheer shiny lipsticks. They're 10 shades. They come in the packaging. It looks like the packaging she did for her last summer collection, where she had the shiny lipsticks, but these are more kind of like, I don't even like the term wearable. These are more everyday colors for most people. I love this kind of formula. Oh, also this launches June 10th, which is probably already passed. So if you want them, you should be able to get them now. I love this kind of lip formula, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna love the Fenty formula, because I did pick up one of her summer collection colors just recently. Thank you, sale. And I don't know if I like it. It totally can be different with these like more day-to-day colors that maybe are a little easier to formulate. We'll have to see. I'll have to wait for reviews and comparisons, because I actually just recently picked up the Linda Hallberg Fantastic in Goldstone, and I only have one, but holy bejesus, I really love this formula. And I have some glossy lipsticks I love as well. Thanks, Propa Beauty. So I'm not like instantly interested in buying this, and I'm not sure what the price is, but I'll be definitely curious to see reviews. I know it's harder to do this, but I did feel like her summer collection, where the outside packaging or the container matched the color of the lip product, that would have probably drawn me in a way that makes no sense except for my makeup goblin. It would make sense to my makeup goblin. But right now, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to try to put this on any spot on the bingo card right now because I don't feel like it fits, but we'll just start with that one. So that's hilarious because the next thing up is the Propa Beauty Luminous Satin Lipsticks. Propa Beauty is a new brand to the market. They are owned by a black woman. It's a brand owned by a black woman. They've released 12 lipsticks, 12 colors, and their focus is nude lipsticks for black people and people of color. I fell hardcore in love with the look of the lipsticks, and so I picked up 3 in the first basically about 2 weeks ago. They arrived super quick. Right now they're on pre-order only because they sold out, and the lipsticks are $12 each. I think that's a fantastic price for the creamy formula of the lipsticks. Cute packaging. I think they really killed it with the colors. Interesting tones, yellowy tone browns, orange tones, some mauvey tones, like rich colors. And the thing is that the formula seems like it's like buildable. So I wouldn't say it's totally sheer, but I would say it's sheerer than what you might expect, but it builds really nicely on the lips. So I'm kind of an Insta fan of the line. And I did do swatches in my video that went up on Sunday, where I was doing like a full face of shit. It was a long video, but towards the end, I did swatch the 3 colors, and I'm wearing, I'm wearing Victress mixed with Goldstone from Linda Hallberg, but the colors are just stunning. If you're looking for swatches, there's a lot of people out there swatching them now. Angelica Nyquist has done swatches of all 12 colors on her skin tone, which was helpful, and it very much highlights what black people have to deal with on a regular basis, which is not being able to find lip swatches on their skin tone. And I was like, oh, okay, fair Propa Beauty, fair. Like, really impressed with the 3 that I've gotten so far. Curious to see what else they do in terms of colors, other lip products, who knows. Again, not on the bingo card, but totally okay because I'm happy to be talking about them. Oh, I have whiplash because we jumped from something I'm excited about and respect to something that burns my eyes, and that is the 99 pan Brazilian Carnival palette from King Beauty Shop. No sir, no ma'am, no. Just okay. 50 cents a shadow. That's not a steal. $50 for a tabletop palette full of colors that I am sure are repetitive and full of, I think there's some pressed glitters in there. It's kind of hard to tell. They've designed the photo and the packaging to be distracting, so you can't really tell. This is like 3 rainbow palettes had an orgy and birthed this, and I don't want any of it. I don't want any of your fucking mess, birth, whatever this is. No. That damn giant King palette is a rainbow palette. It's yet another rainbow palette. It's a rainbow palette nobody wants. It's a fucking rainbow palette, and I'm done with it. Next, we have Lunar Beauty. Lunar Beauty has launched the Moon Prism Blush Collection. This is a 6-pan blush palette for $35, and then there are 3 lip glosses, and they're $17 each. One of the lip glosses is a re-release, and I guess the other two are new colors. Lunar Beauty has never had blushes before, so this is new for their collection. I will consistently say that since the highlighters, I think Manny has really killed it with the packaging. The highlighters, the Strawberry Dreams palette, Moonspell palette, is that what that is? Moonspell. And now this Moon Prism palette. And I actually think his glosses and his like liquid lipsticks are in pretty packaging as well. I decided to skip on this because I felt like it was very monochromatic, and I love blush. I am a self-proclaimed blush slut, but I'm not as drawn to purely blush palettes. And I want to say, like, the more pictures of this I've seen since people have actually gotten it, because it released on a site and it released on Sephora. I think both sold out pretty quickly. There might be more in Sephora or more coming in the next couple weeks, because he did kind of shade some other brands saying, like, when I sell out, I sell out. Okay, Manny. I think the packaging is just stunning on the palette, but I do think he kind of shot himself in the foot with his like release photos, because they look very washed out. So I truly felt like this 6-pan palette kind of looked like it had 3 to 4 unique shades, and they all look fairly soft. The more I look at actual swatches, I see the difference. Even his original swatches, I see the difference. There's 1 sheeny blush and 5 mattes. I want Manny to please use your gorgeous packaging that you hold so dear to yourself, the Moon Prism packaging, and come out with blush split pans. Half shimmery, half matte, or 2 tones of matte, please. Because while I understand the value per pan for a palette is usually much better, I don't really want a whole palette. I want like a couple of pretty compacts. Please, can we do that, Manny? Can we? But I don't hate it, I just didn't love it. I say this in all love. That release was a catfish, Manny. Because I felt like you showed us the packaging and we got all excited. A lot of us saw the inside and then we're like, I don't think so. And then at the same time, people got the palette in their hands and they're like, oh wait, this is different than I was expecting. So you're getting my catfish claim. Okay, Marc Jacobs Beauty. We gotta talk. What the fuck is happening with your brand? The newest release, 2 face luminizers in lip gloss style packaging, which means there's probably like 0 fucking product in there, $32 each. Also, these have been done for years, including Urban Decay. If you as a brand are behind Urban Decay, you are behind. And this brow product, the Brow Wow Duo. 1, you sound like Benefit right now, and you're fucking better than Benefit. I'm giving you that much. This is a 2-in-1 brow pencil and tinted gel that instantly creates soft, full, plush brows with dimension and hold. Okay, actually, I'm gonna give them a little something. I was confused by the image. The reason why there's a separate little thing there is that each one comes with a pencil refill. Okay, Marc Jacobs, I'm gonna give you a little bit of props on that, because I'm down for more brands doing refillable products. But it just looks cheap. They're $39 each. So it looks cheap, and it's a $40 brow product. And if you don't love the pencil but you like the gel, you're gonna be stuck rebuying it just for the gel. If you don't like the gel but you like the pencil, you're stuck rebuying it or rebuying pencil refills. It's a no. Sorry. I'm giving Marc Jacobs major copycat vibes, because you are better than Benefit, but you are starting to look like them with that brow bullshit that you just released. Next up, we have a release from Copacetic Cosmetics. I use Indie Makeup Spotlight, by the way, for my indie releases, run by a friend and true sweetheart, Amy Loves Makeup. And this is a release from Copacetic Cosmetics. This is the Butterfly Kisses palette. It's already out. It's sold out currently. I can't see the price, so I don't know what it would be. This is a 9-pan palette with this like purple tone to it. Monochromatic. As some people in the comments of the Indie Makeup Spotlight post mention, it looks like a ColourPop palette. I want to give Copacetic like a little bit more credit than that, because I feel like it looks... Wow, my cat is just being a fucking asshole. Let's hope the camera stays upright. So, to me, this is a slightly more textural purple palette. I do actually think the tones are pretty. They're a touch, they're like a little murky, a little like gray and blue toned. There's a pinky duochrome. There is a pressed glitter. There are some pressed flakies and some metallics. So I think it's pretty, and it's like, I can see that they tried, but I don't think it's something I'm really gonna be jumping to get. I mean, it's already sold out. I didn't get it in the first release, and they're an indie makeup brand I haven't tried, but I've also heard hit or miss things, only from one person, but from one person who knows their shit about their formulation, about their formulations. So I kind of want to give them a little bit more time to like blossom and show themselves a bit more in their formulations a bit more before I personally make the purchase. But I'm not totally dismissing the brand as a whole. I just didn't think that this was the palette for me. Is it a pretty palette? Yes. Am I particularly drawn to butterflies as a theme? Not really. There's a pressed glitter in the palette, which also made me instantly kind of not want it. So, cheers to the pressed glitter. So, let's talk about the cash grabs of June. June is Pride Month. This year, you might not see as much terrible rainbow washing marketing out there, but it still happens. We have a limited edition Love is Love Face Halo Trio Pack for Pride 2020. It is $35 Australian, which is about $25 for American citizens. I'm not sure about shipping or anything like that. I've heard good things about Face Halo. Face Halo is kind of like makeup eraser. It's supposed to be a fabric, it's a circle that you can use to remove your makeup with just water. And it's supposed to be like super soft and very like it works, but it doesn't, you're not pulling and whatever. Here's the thing. Face Halo is donating 5% of proceeds to the Trevor's Project. 5% of proceeds. So they're not saying what amount that is per trio, because proceeds, like, here's the thing. If you really want to donate to the Trevor Project, you could probably donate $5 and make a bigger impact than you are going to make by buying this trio. Do I have facts to back that up? No, but I understand markup. I understand brands kind of double talking. I'm not trying to say anything specifically shitty about Face Halo in terms of their specific marketing techniques. Like, I'm not trying to say they warp their numbers or something. I just understand that saying you're going to just donate a small percentage of proceeds of your sales, it does not read as like you're trying a whole lot. Now, somebody could show me the research on Face Halo and tell me they've donated a bunch of money in the past and blah, blah, blah. That's fine. That's cool if so. Like, you can correct me in the comments. But the idea of buying something rather than donating, I mean, I think we're kind of inundated in that right now with a lot of fundraising for Black Lives Matter. But here's the thing with those, I don't see the fault as much because I see so many brands saying donating 100% of the proceeds. And I guess I'm also seeing it in smaller brands where I know that they're doing it is a bigger effort and it's a bigger impact on their finances than a mainstream brand that's doing this. So I'm just gonna say, if you see a brand that's saying we're donating and it's like 5%, 10%, whatever, just think about throwing a couple dollars towards that organization on your own. And you could also buy this, but like, don't just buy it because it excuses, like, it feeds the makeup goblin, and then it also, like, you excuse it because you're like, but it's a donation. It's like, it's a 5% donation. It's really not much. It's really not much. Anyway, so that's my cash grab conversation, hopefully for the night. So we have Kaja over here. Kaja is a kind of Korean beauty inspired brand. They might be owned by a Korean company. I think I've heard they're owned by Meanbox, which is, I believe, a Korean brand. So they have these series of stacks, and they've released the Cutie Bento Creamy the Cutie Bento Creamy Lip and Cheek Duos. This is super smart from Kaja, and I'm surprised it took them this long to get there. So their whole stack series has been little eyeshadow stacks before. First it was different just shimmers, and they look like they're very glittery shimmers, like in 3 or 4 colorways. And then they released a second line of them where it's like some mattes and a shimmer, again in a couple of colorways. So they're coming out with 2 different duo stacks. One is Sweet Sangria, which has a neutral mauve and a berry tone, and then one that is Juicy Watermelon that has a pink, that are pink coral tones. This is like probably the most basic kind of product in their cutesy formatting, and it's so fucking smart from this brand. They're $18 each, which they're probably very, very small, and because I remember the size of their eyeshadow stacks, but I don't hate it. Like, for $18, I don't hate it. I'm probably just being torn and drawn in because of the cute packaging. Part of me also wonders if you could get both and put them all stacked together. I don't need that. I'm not gonna get it, especially after I just inherited quite a few cream blushes in my life in a different format, so I'm not gonna do that. But I do think it's very smart from the brand. I will be curious to hear about these products when they actually, people start reviewing them, if people do. Because I've played around with different cream formulas. Sometimes they totally work on both the eyes and the lips, but sometimes they're too emollient, so on the lips they don't really last, and then they look kind of glossy, glowy on the cheeks. Sometimes they're very pigmented, so they look really great on the lips, but you have to be careful on how you apply it on the cheeks. You know, are they gonna be a more dewy cream blush or more satin or matte? Like, the pictures, they look very like naturally, maybe not natural, but they look like glowy but not glossy. The models, their skin. I'm intrigued. But here's the thing. As I say this, I also understand that it's really the same, it's really probably the same shit that's out on the market in a slightly new style of packaging for cream blushes. So It's not revolutionary, but it does catch my eye. So, Miss Pat McGrath has released the Mothership 8 Divine Rose 2. If you're a makeup lover and you don't know that by now, I'm sorry. I don't know what rock you've been living under. Because it's what every beauty lover, especially all the luxury ones, can't shut the fuck up about. That's fair. There's a multi-chrome in there. That's fair. I will say, of all of the Pat palettes that I've seen come out, the last one that got me kind of riled up was the one that has the green shifty and the red. Whew. I don't even like red that much, but it's the green. This one, so there's a multi-chrome, which I have a dupe of it on my eyes right now, and I've done a whole couple videos on that, on duping the vibes and indie brands that are making colors that maybe are competitive or better. There's a more like bright, vibrant fuchsia. There's this interesting color called Eleganza that's like a plum, but it really looks more of like a taupey pink when it's swatched out from videos. And then there's a whole fuck ton of golds. This is one of those palettes that it really almost got me. Like when it was first like sneak peeked, I was like, this is bullshit. I got my multi-chromes, I'm good. And then, well, I mean, I could blame Alicia Kinky Sweat, but it wasn't just her. But she definitely got me more hyped up about the possibility of this palette. And then I kind of came back around and realized, like, yeah, there's like 5 colors in the palette that I am truly curious about. The 2 palest shimmers, the pink and the multi-chrome, and the Eleganza one. But 5 shadows for $125. Bitch, just wait for a Cleona pre-order and order from them. So no, I'm not going to be buying Pat's half neutral, half colorful palette. So Makeup Revolution has yet another brand. XX Revolution. Whatever the fuck that means. They have released complexion face palettes that are $20 US, 18 pounds. So looks like there's 4 releases. I'm intrigued, actually, because I didn't realize, according to this post, they all have a matte bronzer, they all have an illuminating highlighter, and they all have a shimmering blush. Actually, the color range on this, at least with the bronzers, I'm impressed by. I know Makeup Revolution recently had a bronzer release, and I was reading about it, and they actually hired either one or multiple black women, black beauty influencers, creators to come in and consult on creating those deeper tone colors. So I'm going to give them that. They have overwhelmed me with their releases, and I truly think that, like, it's like a 70-30 shit to good product possibility when you buy from them. But again, if these showed up in an Ulta and I could see them in person, I would consider picking one up. The deepest one, that blush, oh my god, that looks, I mean, it kind of reminds me of my sweater, like the top part, because it's all swirly and it gives me a slight hourglass vibes. Okay, the more I'm staring at this, damn it, the more I'm staring at these, the more I'm staring at them, the more I would buy one. $20 seems like a lot, but we'll see. I don't know if XX Revolution is coming to Ulta or if it's only going to be on their own website. They're on my list. And they do have some pretty millennial pink packaging. Oh my goodness. We have yet another lip gloss. My brain just kind of shorted out. Sorry, beer, cider, brain. So Rowan Beauty has released their the box says Kiss, but they are calling it the Kiss My Liquid Lip balm, and it's actually supposed to be an alternative to sticky lip glosses. So I don't know much about Rowan Beauty besides that they have kind of covetable glittery eyeshadows that I know Hannah Louise Poston adores. I'm not as drawn to them because they're all very neutral tones, but they're on my like I have my close radar. I have like levels of my makeup radar, and they're out here. They're like on the outskirts of the radar. Like, I see you, I'm watching you. I don't have immediate want, but I see you. These lip glosses, okay, so they describe it as a non-sticky alternative to a classic lip gloss. It soothes the lips as it nourishes, regenerates, and repairs. It's formulated with mango and grapeseed oils to hydrate and protect. It provides a high shine of a gloss with the nourishment of a balm. They're $26 each, which, I mean, the pretty packaging is pretty, but I don't know if it's worth $26. And I've had really hit or miss experiences with like lip balms that are tinted or colored, or things that have oils in them and that are like really are more lip oils, but they're called glosses or balms. I just don't love, I find most things that are called lip oils, and I've tried from a range of price points, most of them I feel like they just sink in and they're gone. They're gone with an instant, and my lips don't feel hydrated. They don't feel like I put anything that's like long term on them. And it's not even like it sinks in and then later I'm like, oh, I feel nourished. No, it like sinks in and I want to put more on. So this is really just another lip gloss to me, even if they're trying to market it as something different and new and inventive. And for $26, right now it's a no for me. So YSL, or Yves Saint Laurent Beauty, is releasing two palettes, two couture color clutches. They each have 10 shadows in them. The packaging looks quite pretty. They're probably going to be fucking expensive because they're YSL and they're like clutches, but they're also makeup. And the colors are just kind of confusing to me. The kind of 4 colors on the warm tone neutral palette, the 4 colors on the left, on my left, should have been in the blue tone palette. But right now, having like warm tones with the blue and green tones, you're gonna end up with a muddy mess if you don't know what you're doing. And that alone makes that blue-green palette seem like a bad choice. I just, no matter what, I think it's probably gonna be a super expensive, overpriced palette. And especially that bottom one, it's just a basic AF neutral palette. You don't need to pay YSL prices for. Well, it seems as the randomizer wants to leave me on a spicy note. So we have hit upon the Pastel Skeletor Cremated palette. And I've already looked at my bingo card. I've already hit bingo, which is why I know it's the last thing. It's the last thing we're going to be talking about. For better or for worse. For worse, really. So the reason why I'm hitting bingo right now is that this is getting the spot on the card that is pretty embossing basic product. Pretty is a stretch. Pretty is a stretch. But there's embossing that happens to be of stars and of urns and of a hearse. This is a $58 palette with a death theme to it and a white to gray with some taupe brown tones thrown in as the color story. Okay, so we're gonna talk about color story. This is a basic ass color story. That whole bottom row, not even basic. This is a racist ass color story. Because guess what? That whole bottom row will look like the same color on people with skin that's deeper than me. And that whole top row is kind of sort of going to look the same because it's all super deep shades. So you've put together a 24 color palette that's really like at max 9 shades. You could have released a fucking 9 pan like ColourPop, and it would have been more interesting because it would have been more limited and you would have to narrow it down. Instead, you threw a bucket of black and white paint together and just acted like if you were the new coming of Jesus. Okay. So besides the fact that I think color story is bullshit and it's not that interesting and the shimmers don't even look that interesting, and if you've been wanting gray, there's like at least a dozen gray, black, white palettes on the market. I will try to include a collage of your many options. If you've been wanting taupes and browns, there's like a fucking billion of them getting released, getting jerked out into the world every day. I feel very Theresa influenced right now with the hand motions. Enjoy. I'm very tempted. I just finished my beer. Very tempted to open another one just to finish this rant. Fuck it. So, besides the fucking ugly glosses that he could have easily released 2 colors instead of 4, because guess what? A deep grayish black gloss and a light silvery gloss is going to make those 2 colors in the center. Besides the fact that your packaging looks like Huda Beauty with your face on the cover, and yet you're going to call out Huda for copying ColourPop and copying all this other bullshit, basic motherfucking shit that everyone's doing. And I don't even like Huda, but I'm tired of you attacking women of color because you're insecure and you're racist. Besides all that, okay. Besides all of that, we're in the middle of a fucking pandemic. I don't care how goth you are. There's a fuck ton of goths out there on the internet that are saying, what the fuck is this shit? We're in the middle of a pandemic and you release a palette called Cremated. You release a palette with shadow names like Goodbye, Last Respect, Death Certificate, RIP. What in all the fucks? I know, okay, I know I'm falling into your fucking trap because my conspiracy theory allegedly is that this is all purposeful. I'm not saying that this was like, that you started creating this because of what happened, but I'm saying that maybe you thought, hey, rage marketing, I'll get all the people that are pissed talking about my shit and then people will buy it because my stands are going to buy it no matter what, and people that might feel like they just want to be devil's advocates over there will buy it. So yeah, it worked. I'm talking about it. But guess what? For everyone that has lost somebody because of the pandemic, to everybody who is like working their asses off as essential workers, putting their lives on the line, and for everyone who's just not in the fucking mood to see the palette with the name Cremated all across the front on their social media, for all those people, fuck you. You are rich enough that you could have postponed this. You are rich enough that you could have renamed this and redone your packaging and taken the loss. Because guess what? If you had released this color story with a slightly less disgusting theme to it, I wouldn't have reacted this way. Because there are releases of his that I've seen where I'm like, it's not for me, but I understand why people like it. Or like the Alien palette, I was like, I love that color story. I'm not giving that racist prick my fucking money. I said this, I actually just did a video on cancel culture this week. For a long time, I felt like you cannot just separate the person from the makeup, because inherently that's a racist construct, because only white people who do not get racism thrown in their face every day of their life, every minute of their fucking life, especially in this country, only white people can really separate the person from the makeup. I'm not saying there aren't black people that are shopping out there that are saying that. I'm sure there are. But I'm saying, as a generalized sweeping statement, for black people, they can't just be like, oh, I'm not going to worry about if this person happened to attack black women in the street or on the internet calling them gorilla or rat. I don't have to worry. I'm not going to think about that. It's okay. It's okay. I like the colors enough. I'm just going to buy it. Because they're intelligent humans and their brain they'll be reminded of it. Or, as I also said in the cancel culture video, as my dear friend Audra at home mentioned to me in a personal conversation, and then also mentioned on a Black Voices Roundtable on Jen Loves Reviews channel last week, if you are a black creator, a black person on the internet who talks about makeup and is using makeup from a racist brand, a racist brand owner, and you advertise that you're using it, people will fucking attack you in the comments. Because of course you have to behave better than white people. How dare you spend money how dare you give money to a racist? I can do that because I'm a white person and like I don't have to think about those things. But how dare you do that? There's a lot of situations where, not just with Pastel Skeletor, but with other brands, other situations where people will say, I'm separating the makeup from the person and I'm buying this. In a lot of those situations, I can apply some kind of reason to it. I really can. In this situation, I cannot and I will not. This is not a unique palette to the market, and the theme is fucking disgusting. And if you're just into death and you want to collect it for that reason, I'm not going to be able to reason with you here. It's not going to happen. But I just think if you don't have a fucking hard on for Pastel Skeletor and you haven't already bought this, maybe you'll think twice before you buy it. You probably won't, because you probably haven't even watched this far once I started insulting him. But if you have, hi, hello, my name is Emily. Welcome. As I said, I've hit bingo for the pretty embossing basic product. If you enjoyed that, if you stuck around and you liked the roast at the end, I would love for you to subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it, dislike the video if you didn't. If for some reason you haven't seen Theresa's videos, Theresa is Dead, please go check out her channel. I paused there because I was about to say, I know Theresa does review some Jeffree Star. I don't think she is moving forward. I could be wrong. She's a friend. Things are weird on the internet when you start making friends. So while I awkwardly sit in that space, I'm just gonna say thank you so much for watching. Just take care, stay safe. If you're out there protesting, I fucking appreciate you beyond words. And if you're not out there protesting, also there's a million things you can be doing from home. And I know that not everybody is built to do it, because I for goddamn sure I'm not. If you enjoyed this and you would like to find me on other places, I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Nomnivorous. I also have a Patreon that will be linked down below. Thank you so much for spending a bit of your day with me. I hope to see you again real soon. Bye, friends.